Okay, the verdict is in, and there's a lot of people with severe mental retardation who are very happy today. I'm not one of them.
Hello, my name is Angela Box.
So you're talking my name.
Obviously, Karen Reed is guilty of sin. There was not only no reasonable doubt, there was no doubt at all. And I think this verdict is basically a culmination of a 2-year long terrorist attack by Aiden Carney, aka Turtle Boy, Karen Reed, and the mindless lunatics known as the Free Karen Reed movement. I'm new to this thing. I did not watch the first trial, gavel to gavel. I've gone back and watched it. I've listened to 34 Fairview Road podcast. I've watched A Body in the Snow. I've watched the Dateline in 2020. Karen Reed is beyond guilty, okay? When we started the second trial, I was like, okay, the prosecution gets another stab at this because clearly there were a bunch of stealth FKRs on the first jury who were just not going to convict no matter what. But guess what? Lo and behold, guess there was a whole lot more of them this time. Now, for all of you FKRs who have viciously attacked anybody who can see this case for what it is, which is an in-denial alcoholic narcissist sociopath named Karen Reed, backed over her boyfriend going 26 miles an hour at 76% throttle on January 29th, 2022. Those of us who understand that John O'Keefe never moved again after she hit him, those of us who understand that the health data on his phone, it did not change one iota ever since she hit him and he dropped to the ground. John O'Keefe may not have been killed by the fact that she hit him with her car, but he obviously hit his head and then passed out and died of hypothermia. Like, this is not hard. Now, FKR, again, a group of a bigger retards I have not seen, FKR thinks that somehow about 50 different people, inanimate objects, and animals all got together, and they were like, you know what we need to do? We need to frame this beautiful and alluring woman who we're just so jealous of. Like, we are so jealous of Karen Reed. Like, we wish that we had the kind of relationship that she and John O'Keefe had. You know, the kind of relationship where she loses her damn mind thinking he's cheating on her when he's not, in drunken rages accusing him of cheating, emotionally cheating with one of his friends, you know, that kind of great relationship. So they think that somehow John O'Keefe, without moving or his phone moving, here's what, let me give the tards that are FKR the benefit of the doubt here. Okay, let's say, I guess one of the McAlberts, as you guys like to call them, picked him up as Karen drove away, picked him up and left his phone on the ground. So the phone would get colder and colder and colder. So you think then that Karen would be blamed for this. So they leave the phone, and I guess they grab John. Maybe Jen McCabe grabs his arms, even though Jen McCabe basically left right after Karen Reed left. Grabbed his arms, grabbed one of his arms, grabbed one of his legs. Matt McCabe maybe grabbed his head. Maybe Brian Albert or Colin Albert grabbed the other arms. And then, you know, kicking and screaming. John would clearly be kicking and screaming. They dragged him into the house, don't you know? They dragged him into the house and beat the absolute hell out of him. And then they sicked a dog on him. A dog, which, by the way, does not seem to have a lower jaw or DNA that it ends up getting left behind anywhere. So, yeah, that's basically what FKR thinks. And the way FKR has behaved, again, because of vile, vicious, narcissistic sociopaths like Karen Reed and Aiden Carney, aka Turtle Boy, the way they have behaved is unlike anything I've ever seen in real life. They have destroyed innocent witnesses' lives. Witnesses, just people that were not only John's friends, but this evil heifer's friends too. The Karen and Aiden and all the FKRs out there are so... Listen, I'm not going to say all of FKR is evil. I will say that Karen Reed and Aiden Carney are evil, 100%. I'm not saying that FKR is evil. They're unhinged. They're not very bright. Sadly, a lot of them seem to be MAGA. Sadly, a lot of them seem to buy into a conspiracy that would have to rope in about 50 to 100 people at any given time. But they're not bright, okay? And they're out there going that, now, you guys, now the feds, Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, they're going to get involved, you guys. And, all the McAlberts are going to go down. And Brian Higgins, too. Just all of it. Like, basically every single person that was in that house that night, all 11 or 12 of them, plus all the first responders, all the cops, the Sally Port camera, Chloe the dog, all of them are going to go down, you guys. Because the feds are going to get involved now. Now, this is the level of dumb that we are dealing with. Hey, FKR, I know you're out desperately looking for the real killers like OJ was on the golf course or like Casey Anthony did. But the real killer got off scot-free today. And there are going to be no arrests by the federal government. Sorry. I mean, I wish the feds could arrest Karen Reed, but they can't. The best that the John O'Keefe family can hope for now, and, it will happen because karma is real and God will not be mocked. Karen Reed is going to have a terrible life, okay? Karen Reed will probably traipse after her little boyfriend, allegedly, Alan Jackson, back to Los Angeles thinking she's going to be some sort of celebrity now. And Karen Reed will have to somehow rebuild her life once the spotlight is gone. But the longer this goes on and the more people have a chance to think about it, people are going to go, yeah, you did it. You did it, and you got away with it. Now, the FKR are, as I said, very susceptible to illogical thinking, so they will probably never admit that they were duped, but they were duped, okay? You were duped by an alcoholic, narcissist piece of shit named Karen Reed and her little flying monkey, a little pocket person named Aiden Carney. You were duped, okay? So I will put money on it right now, FKR. I'll put any amount of money you want. Any amount of money, anytime. $1 million, $10 million, $1 billion. There will be no arrest by the feds of anybody involved in this case, okay? Because the person who did it just walked away free today. And the way the jury no doubt saw how people who stand on the side of logic and common sense were treated, no doubt saw that. I guarantee you there was some subtle intimidation going on of the jury. So enjoy your victory lap while you can, FKR, because, applauding the release of a murderer is not the best look. So you let me know who's the real killer of John O'Keefe if it's not Karen Reed. Like, I'm waiting. We're all waiting. Like, give me one thing that makes any sense whatsoever. We're all waiting. Thanks.